Yo, what's going on? My name is Mike and I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter at that Sports Dope, Instagram, the same handle. If you found this on iTunes and you want to watch me for some reason, sit here in a robe like a fucking moron, that's your business. It's cold. I love the fall. I got the windows open. It's 60 degrees. I want to wear my giant robe all the time. And guess what? I'm going to because I don't give a shit. So, like I was saying, found this on iTunes. You want to watch me for some reason, go to mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope and you'll be able to find links for the YouTube channel. If you found this on YouTube, you want the podcast, mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. I think that'll get you to the iTunes link. It just got on Google Play yesterday. Got the note. That's fucking cool. Another platform for maybe another 2 people. Gives us like a grand total of 11. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever. But, yeah, that's how to find my shit. This week, we're going to be talking about some daily fantasy stuff. Going to recap the lineups I gave out last week and I played. Unfortunately, none of them cashed. That's actually been a rarity for me this season. Out of 4 lineups we gave out, 2 of them were $30, one of them was $80, and last week wasn't shit. But the goal is I want to get into the top 1,000 of the Millionaire Maker. I'm not fucking stopping. I'm gonna try a couple different things. You guys are along for the ride. But yeah, without further ado, or whatever that stupid phrase is, let's move on. Quick recap of what we did last week. So the lineup I gave out for the Millionaire Maker, it was pretty good, but last week was a fucking crazy week. We had a couple people score over 50 points each. The person who won scored 330 points. That dude actually had the number 4 slot too at 320. There's a lot of, Deshaun Watson, Christian McCaffrey, Will Fuller action in that one. A lot of people had the Eagles defense too. I think I mentioned on one of the previous podcasts, defense is important in these things. You catch a defense scoring like 35 points, you're going to need that defense if you want to crack like the top 50. So defense, pretty important. A lot of mixtures of the lineups, but you got to hit that defense if there's a defense putting up 30 plus in order to be in it. So running through the list. I lost mine. But basically, we went with Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins as our stack. So it's frustrating, man. It is so frustrating. Deshaun Watson absolutely killed it. 44.75 points. The dude had 5 passing touchdowns. Atlanta is such like a piece of shit defense. It's not even believable anymore just how bad they are at defense. But anyway, Deshaun Watson absolutely murdered the game. DeAndre Hopkins, not so much, right? He's the superstar. He's the guy you think of when you think of the Texans, unless maybe Deshaun Watson took that case over. We could debate that a little bit. But DeAndre Hopkins is a mainstay. He's been the guy there for 5+ years, and he just hasn't been getting it done. He's still got that huge price tag. Last week, he only had, I say only, because anybody else would have. Holy shit! I'm just watching. I got the Giants-Patriots game on, and Golden Tate just caught a touchdown pass. But anyway, DeAndre Hopkins, 88 yards, 7 catches, not a bad day. But if you're paying like $7,800 for him or whatever his price tag was last week, yeah, $7,800 on the button. If you're paying that for him, you want more than 15 points, right? You want somebody who's gonna put up 25. At least, if not hit like a 30 spot. Like the next guy that we had in the lineup, Christian McCaffrey, he's just absolutely ridiculous. Absurd what he's been doing. He's been like 35 plus the last couple of weeks. Last week he was 50 plus, 50.7. Absolutely unbelievable. But, got us to 185, but that wasn't good enough last week. And here's a bunch of the reasons why. Those were a couple other good notes. Here's some of the bad ones. James White, not too much. Couple catches, about 40 yards, 26 on the ground, 13 points, nothing special, right? Randall Cobb, I was playing a little bit of a revenge angle. I thought Dallas was going to be a little bit better in this game, so they might be able to play a little bit. Little did I know that they would get blown out from the gate and basically just be in panic mode, chuck it up to Amari Cooper all game and hope that he can bring us back. And he almost did until they missed the field goal like a bunch of fucking idiots. I happened to be in Dallas when that happened at a restaurant. It was glorious to watch the collective Southern accented, oh, like, when he missed that 33-yarder. It was fucking great to watch them in their environment be upset. I really did enjoy that. I didn't enjoy Randall Cobb having 8 points, though, so fuck him. We already talked about DeAndre Hopkins. This guy had a nice comeback game. For the price tag around $5,000, this is kind of what you want. Calvin Ridley, he looked good. He had a touchdown, 88 yards, 5 receptions, close to 20, 19.8. Not bad for a value play there. The tight end we went with was Jared Cook. He had 4 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown. Not bad. I think we got to stick a fork in Joe Mixon. And not because he's bad. And not because you want to stick a fork in him because he's such a scumbag of a human being. But because his team is too bad to support a running game. And that's a shame. He's got talent. It's not a shame he's a piece of shit. But you get where I'm coming from. It's a shame you can't use him as one of your pieces when you thought you would. It's a shame you reached and took him in the first round because all the running backs were gone and you had like the 10th pick and you panicked. That was me. I did that in one of my 4 leagues. But and then for the defense on this one, we had the Titans. We knew they had Buffalo coming to town. Buffalo put up 2 touchdowns. That's it. But the Titans defense didn't really get any of those peripheral stats that make defenses worthwhile. So that was our DraftKings lineup, or for the Millionaire Maker, rather. 185 points. That's usually pretty decent, right? That somewhere around there is what got me like $30 a couple weeks in a row. And this week it was good for nothing. Not even close to anything. So next lineup I gave was something just to do with your buddies. You kind of use a little more mainstream people because you're playing with a smaller group. You don't need to come up with anything weird or interesting to support it. So with that one, I started off Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. I stayed in the same game for my stack, and it didn't work out great. Same thing with the other way. Matt Ryan, the quarterback, did very well above average. Not above Deshaun Watson good, but about 36 points, solid. The stud receiver also shit the fucking bed, right? Julio Jones, 4 catches. 4 catches for 32 yards. Come on, man. Fucking do a little something more than that. You got to give me a little something more than that. Next person we go to the running backs. We went with Dalvin Cook and David Johnson. Dalvin Cook had a Dalvin Cook type game, except for that fumble. He would have been over 30. Playing the Giants, Swiss cheese defense. I was on the Giants last week because I'm a fucking moron, homer, jerk off. But I'm not bitter. I'm okay. They're losing right now. And that's what I want to see as somebody not backing them right now. Anyway, so Dalvin Cook did well, not that well. He couldn't make 100 points to, make this lineup worth anything. David Johnson, another game that I thought was going to be fairly high scoring. Arizona at Cincinnati. David Johnson had a ton of yards. Just didn't get in the end zone. No end zone, and he wound up with 18 points. So if he would have got in there, it would have looked a little bit better for the kid. But did not go down like that. One of the receivers, Alshon Jeffery, 6 catches, 52 yards, 11 points. Fuck you, dude. Curtis Samuel went with a little odd play because I knew that the Carolina offense has been kind of airing it out whenever McCaffrey isn't getting the ball. And that didn't work out for me either. 7 points. Tyler Eifert, no dice, 3 points. The Arizona defense finally didn't give up something to the tight end. I don't know if it was because Tyler Eifert left his spine on the sidelines and his back fucking just wouldn't work and he wasn't in the game that much, or if maybe they figured something out and they can cover a tight end. I don't know. I doubt it. You'll see why I'm saying that later. In the flex spot, my guy, I like him a lot. oh shit, the Giants are running back another defensive fucking score or something. Holy shit. We'll see what's going on here. Anyway, flex spot, Ronald Jones, my guy. Dude, everybody talking. He's poised to be the guy this week. Fuck Peyton Barber. I think Peyton Barber's mom called into a radio show and was like, I think Ronald Jones should start over my son. But it never materialized. I've had a bunch of stock in Ronald Jones. I drafted him in like 2 out of my 4 leagues and some late round flyer shit. But it just hasn't happened. And he's shown flashes, and it seems like he's going to take the mantle one of these days, take the reins. I don't know what the fuck that saying is. But it didn't happen this week. And I threw a little, hope that it would. But it didn't. So I was broke at the end of this because I had a couple big names in there. Went with the Steelers. Actually not a terrible choice. Had a bunch of sacks, couple picks. Got me 11 despite giving up 26. But again, did not help out too much in the long run. So that lineup gave us about 132 points. Not anything to write home about. No dice. But this weekend, Week 6, we are going to turn it around. Say it with me. We're going to turn it around. All right, we're going to start off with a lineup for your friends, maybe a smaller contest. And I'm going to start, as I always do, with the stacking up a team that fucking embarrassed themselves last week. And I love a team with talent that plays like shit like one week because they're going to come back and they're going to beat the shit out of somebody. It's going to be ugly. The Chargers, they have Pittsburgh coming to town, Sunday Night Football, East Coast to West Coast. Phillip Rivers, ugly game against the Broncos. They almost pulled it off, just like the Giants pulled off this fumble recovery for a touchdown. Unbelievable. And I don't know, whatever. How the Giants are staying in this game, but whatever. So, Phillip Rivers, stacking him. Who do you think? Keenan Allen, of course. A bunch of people banged up on the receiving core. Melvin Gordon's coming back, so they're going to have like a legit running back, not somebody who's just going to be quick and shifty and then fucking catch a bunch of balls out of the background, which is great for Austin Eckler, but nobody's really scared when you play action to Austin Eckler. You play action to Melvin Gordon, boom, linebackers bump up, gives Keenan Allen a little bit more of a bump, a little bit more of separation, whatever they say down the line, huh? And so Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen, book it, 65, 70 points between these two. I think Pittsburgh's going to show up. They're going to try and show up a little bit. The backup quarterback for him last week actually looked a little bit better than Mason Rudolph. Is that weird to say? I don't think so. Maybe you keep Mason Rudolph in concussion protocol and just see what this kid's about. I don't know. Maybe. But Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen, $5,800, $7,000 respectively. That's who I'm going with my stack for this week. Running back, first one. Another team looked like trash last week. Like complete and utter dog shit. But they're a team, again, look like trash one week. Come out and ball the fuck out the next. Talking about Tennessee. Tennessee got smoked last week. Now they're going to Denver. Denver, I'm going to use a phrase right now that I've been using on the Pick'em podcast. Denver's smelling their own farts a little bit. Right? They got their first win. Ooh, good for them. Now they think things are solved, maybe. They're going home. They're favorites against Tennessee. Guess what? When Tennessee's an underdog, that's when they do well. So give me Derrick Henry, $6,100. I think he's a 25-plus guy today. Or not today, but Sunday. You know what I'm saying. Next up, I got 2 angles on this, right? You're going to think I'm a little fucking bit of a jerk off. You might even say, who the fuck is this guy? But I got 2 angles I'm working. Give me Chase Edmunds. $4,500, running back, Arizona Cardinals. David Johnson's hurt. They're playing Atlanta. Those are 2 angles that are fucking easy. Easy to see those angles, right? David Johnson's hurt. Who's going to play? Chase Edmunds. Who are they playing? Atlanta. Who's terrible on defense? Atlanta. $4,500. I'll take it. Give it to me. Chase Edmunds, $4,500. Next up, Going with a big offense, but not the big player. I think the big player's been balling way too hard. He balls way too hard the last couple of weeks. Cooper Kupp has been dominating the last couple of weeks. I think San Fran's going to focus on taking him away. I think they know that it's a huge game for San Fran, so they got to take away the thing that always works for the Rams. And that's going to be Cooper Kupp, because it's not Todd Gurley anymore. It's Cooper Kupp. Who's next up on that list? Brandon Cooks. What's wrong with him? Brain rattled around a little bit too much last week. Concussion protocol. Give me Robert Woods. Robert Woods, $5,600. Give me that. Give me that. Next receiver, because we already talked about Keenan Allen. Go with Cortland Sutton. All right. He's been playing extremely well. Tennessee doesn't cover very well at all. If Tennessee's winning, like I just said I thought they would, they're going to be throwing the ball a bit, right? Listen to it. Cortland Sutton, 19 points, 25 points, 14 points. Those are decent numbers for a $5,000 price tag. And maybe he gets Malcolm Butler on him. He could fucking toast him and jump over him. I like Cortland Sutton here. Joe Flacco still throws a deep ball. It's not a good deep ball, but it's a ball that goes deep. And Cortland Sutton could jump over Malcolm Butler or anybody the Titans throw out there and catch that shit. I like Cortland Sutton for about 15 to 20 plus possibly. Let's fucking get that. Next up, another guy in the Rams-San Fran game. High scoring. I'm at the tight end spot. You know where I'm going with this. It's George Kittle. He's the only person who catches balls on the San Francisco 49ers. Who's it going to be? David Pettis? No, none of those guys. Those guys get like under 5 targets each. They like Jimmy G throws it 25 times a game, let's say. Each of those guys have 4 targets. A running back has like 4 targets. Kittle has 9. And he's running after the catch. Down the field to the end zone. Give me George Kittle, $5,200. Like, he has better numbers than a lot of wide receivers that go for $6,000. Why am I not taking him for $5,200 at the tight end spot? Flex spot. Got a bunch of money left. Not a bunch. Yeah, a bunch. Got a decent amount of money left. This guy, I've picked him a couple times before. I've talked about him before. He's disappointed me before. But I think this is his week to shine. Ezekiel Elliott takes the Cowboys on his back, goes to the Meadowlands, and all he does is fucking churn those legs all day. It's all he's going to do. It's all he's going to do. Churn the legs all day. I don't care how good the Jets have a decent line. Doesn't matter. I know a couple guys on the Cowboys line are hurt. But this is also a consideration of, hey, maybe Dak gets them up by 21 and they're just trying to run the clock out in the third. So would you be surprised if Zeke goes into halftime with like 60 yards and a touchdown? Or maybe like middle of the third quarter, he's got 60 yards and a touchdown. And then from the third quarter on, he's just running the ball. Like 5 out of 6 plays, he's just chugging along. No, I wouldn't be. I think this is a game where Zeke can absolutely break out because they need him to. They need him to be the guy that they just paid all that money to, so he would come back from Cabo and put on a football helmet to cover that stupid hair of his. So they need him to do that. They need him to be that guy this week because they're fucking up. They're falling off the rails, and they need that from him. So I like Ezekiel Elliott in this spot. $8,500, big ticket guy. Let's fucking go. Last up, I'm going with the Jaguars D. You're like, what? The Jaguars D? They're playing the fucking Saints. Oh, my God. Who the fuck? Yo, Saints are going to Jacksonville. Rains in Florida. They're growing that fucking grass out all the time. They're going to make that turf, or that, not turf, but you know what I mean, the surface tough for those Saints to run on. And I think they're going to be in the backfield. They're going to be sacking Bridgewater. If Jalen Ramsey, fuck you. AJ Boye, he's going to fucking lock up with Michael Thomas. And who else is Teddy Bridgewater going to throw it to? You have Miles Jack, Shadow, and Alvin Kamara. And you're going to have Calais Campbell. And you're going to have Yannick Ngakoue. And you got Josh Allen, who the Giants should have fucking taken instead of Daniel Jones. You're going to have all these guys flying at Bridgewater. I love the Jaguars this week. Their defense is super cheap. I think people act like the Saints are in a dome all the time. Guess what? They're not. They're in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to stop them this week. Give me the Jacksonville D, $2,200. So that's a lineup I'm playing with a couple dudes, a couple of my friends. Now, Millionaire Maker. It's very exciting. I think I got a good lineup here. I'm into it. I'm into this week. I just fucking pulled my dick out and jerked off to Jacksonville, and I'm going to start with them again. I'm starting with my stack, and I'm starting with Gardner Minshew. I'm catching a little bit of Minshew mania, a little bit of the fever. I think he's just got fucking swagger for days. I fucking love a quarterback who comes out there slinging his dick. I think somebody has said this before, so I'm definitely not taking credit for this statement. But Gardner Minshew looks like Baker Mayfield wants to be. Like, does that make sense? Baker Mayfield tries to act like... But Baker Mayfield, it feels like he's putting that on. But Gardner Minshew just has no other way about him. That's just him. Fucking high-ass jean shorts, chugging natty lights, big fucking mustache. Probably got a giant dip of fucking Copenhagen in. That's Gardner Minshew. That dude's a baller. And I'm taking him for $5,000 this week. Now, we're talking stacks, right? Stacks on stacks on stacks. So, what I'm going to do, right? You're like, oh, I bet he's taking DJ Chark. Nope. No Chark from me. I'm going with D.D. Westbrook, right? Because the Saints are coming to town. One thing we can agree on is that they have a cornerback who's really fucking good, and his name's Marshawn Lattimore. And I guarantee you he's on DJ Chark all day. Because if he's not, Sean Payton is a moron. Now, with Lattimore all over Chark, Lattimore held Mike Evans to 0 catches last week. 0 catches last week. So, I bet he could do the same to Chark. I'm guessing. So, what does that do? That opens shit up for D.D. Westbrook. Give me D.D. Westbrook and Gardner Minshew combined $10,100 combined 50 points. I'm calling it 50 points. Give me those guys. So I got a couple of diesel, beastly, workhorse running backs whose teams I think are both going to run the ball a lot this weekend. I'm taking Mark Ingram and I'm taking Chris Carson. Mark Ingram, Baltimore Ravens, hosting the Bengals. Bengals are complete trash. Like, they came out decent that first week, like almost beating Seattle. I don't know. Maybe Seattle just was like, these guys are trash. We're really not even going to practice in the offseason. Like, all that training shit. We're just going to pretend and we're going to come here and we're going to barbecue, maybe smoke some fucking free weed or legal weed out there. I don't know. They weren't prepared for it. People thought Cincinnati was decent for like a hot second. Guess what? They're not. Mark Ingram, they should be running the ball a lot. Lamar Jackson hasn't been looking fantastic these last couple of weeks, dare I say. Can we get off his dick now? After he fucking put up a bunch of numbers against Miami and Arizona, can we get off his dick a little bit now? Maybe. They're gonna need to run Mark Ingram, and because they need to win this game. They want to make sure they win this game. The last game was fucking too close. Pittsburgh. They lost the week before. They need to win this game. They need to win this game in a dominating fashion. I don't know if they will. I'm not taking the 11.5, but I think they're gonna run Mark Jackson in this. I think they're gonna be up by a decent amount, and I think that that's the scenario for Mark Jackson to get a shitload of points. So they start out running, they get up, and they keep running. Mark Jackson, give me him $6,600. Next guy on the list, like we said, Chris Carson, Seattle, going to Cleveland. I think this is going to be a pretty run-heavy game. I think it's going to be a pretty run-heavy game. And I like Chris Carson in this one. $6,000. He seems to have solved his little fumbleia issues there. So that's good. Good for him. So I'm sticking with him. $6,000, Chris Carson at Seattle. Let's get that. Next up, going down the list. Oh, man, I'm doing it. I'm doing it again. Did it last week. Did it the week before. He's not going to fall short 3 weeks in a row. He's not. I'm going to fucking go down there. I'm going to fly to Kansas City, and I will push DeAndre Hopkins down the fucking sidelines because I'm taking him again because I'm going to ride this fucking train until the wheels fall off. I'm going to keep picking DeAndre Hopkins until he puts up a 25-plus game. I don't care how he does it. I don't care if he catches 15 balls for 100 yards. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to take DeAndre Hopkins until just because he's too good. Like, because the first week I know that's when he's going to put up like 30, and it's going to kill me. So I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins, $7,400. Let's book it. Next up. So, Cooper Kupp. I know I talked up Robert Woods, shat on Cooper Kupp a little bit, but look, I'm taking him here because you only lose betting on a trend once, right? You only lose betting on a streak once. Cooper Kupp, 100-yard games in his last, 4 games, ever since the first week of the season. First week of the season, 46. After that, 120, 101, 121, 117. And, 4 touchdowns in that span. And what's that, about 115 points in 4 weeks? Yeah. You know what? I'm taking Cooper Kupp. I know I shouted on him a little bit while I was giving the last lineup. There's more to talk up Robert Woods. Brandon Cooks still concussed. Both of these guys can absolutely eat. And San Francisco does not have a good secondary. They have a great front. So arthritic fucking Todd Gurley is not going to do shit against that front. You have Nick Bosa on one side, and it's just they're going to be all over the place. It's going to be dominating. And Todd Gurley hasn't looked great, and putting him up against a solid defensive front is not going to help him. So, give me Cooper Kupp. Plenty of balls to go around. I already talked about D.D. Westbrook. Talked about it before when we were reviewing the previous lineups. Who's terrible against tight ends? I guess they just figured out that they exist last week and stopped them. Arizona. Guess what? Not going to happen again this week. Atlanta's coming to town. One of the things they actually do well is throw the ball. One of the people who catches the ball well is Austin Hooper. He's been playing out of his mind this season. He was a Pro Bowler last year. For some reason, people think he's like some sort of third fiddle. And you know what? He might be. But if you throw for 500 yards, third fiddle could still break 100. So give me Austin Hooper. Flex spot. So I had about 5,400 to play with. Looking at the flex spot. I don't like this receiver. That running back, he's probably not going to do great. I come across Zach Ertz. Give me the double tight end. Give me 2 tight ends. You know why? Listen, they're going to Philly. Philly. They are Philly. They're going to Minnesota. Minnesota's got a pretty good cornerback. Minnesota only has one receiver that Carson Wentz trusts. What's his guy? Alshon Jeffery. Whew, had a brain fart there for a second. Xavier Rhodes is going to be on Alshon Jeffery. And Xavier Rhodes has had his problems this year, but it's more problems with speedy receivers because he's getting a little bit up there in age, and so he's holding them a little bit, a couple PI flags, whatever. Alshon Jeffery's just a big fucking dude, and Xavier Woods can cover a big, slower dude. And so I think Alshon Jeffery's going to be blanketed all day. Nelson Aguilar still hasn't recovered from not catching babies falling out of the fire. And I think Zach Ertz fucking eats all day. Harrison Smith plays at the safety, plays a little bit more run support than coverage, and I don't know if their linebackers can hang with Zach Ertz. And even still, Zach Ertz $5,400 with whatever else was left in that flex spot, dude, give me that. Give me that. So, last up, defense for the Millionaire Maker. I'm doing it again. I already gave you my explanation, so I'm not going to run through all that bullshit. The Jaguars are only $2,200. And I wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans scores less than 17. Low scoring, bunch of fucking sacks, maybe a pick or two. Who knows? Fumble recovery for a touchdown. I don't know. I don't have a fucking, magic 8-ball for Jacksonville football games. But I think it's good value. I think it's really solid value. They were in the bottom third for all the defenses at $2,200. Look, people think that this is like, if they were playing in New Orleans, yeah, maybe I could see that. But this is in Jacksonville. You're going to have a bunch of fucking drunken people with cut-off jean shorts, and not because they're trying to imitate Gardner Minshew, but because they're just from Jacksonville, just drinking Bud Heavies, fucking throwing beer cans on the field because they're itching for some fucking redneck hero like Gardner Minshew to just come here and bring the city of fucking Jacksonville up and put it on his shoulders and maybe go on a playoff run, and so that they can fucking wear their jean shorts and drink their Bud Heavies in the fucking playoffs. And, you know, they're just going to sit there and just going to yell, Duval. That's what they yell there. I lived there. I lived there for a year and a half. Duval. Yeah, I like the Jags. I don't know what it is. Give me the Jags defense, $2,200. So let's recap real quick. Millionaire Maker lineup. We got Gardner Minshew, Mark Ingram, Chris Carson, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, D.D. Westbrook, Austin Hooper, Zach Ertz, and the Jags. For the other lineup, that's going to go like, oh, that's the other thing I didn't mention. The Millionaire Maker lineup is just the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games. This lineup here that I do with my friends every week, it goes from Sunday at 1 o'clock on. So it includes Sunday night and Monday. That's why Phillip Rivers is in here. So that lineup, I got Phillip Rivers, Derrick Henry, Chase Edmunds. Keep that guy in mind. Chase Edmunds. Terrible defense. David Johnson is hurt. Chase Edmunds. Robert Woods, Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton, George Kittel, Ezekiel Elliott, and again, the Jaguars defense. So, this is Mike. I'm the Sports Dope. I'm going to be doing some more shit. I got some basketball stuff that I'm working on, putting my little spreadsheets together, a couple team totals. I'll do one podcast for the East, one podcast for the West. It'll probably be out next weekend. Yo, if you heard that, I just totally farted. And yeah, I'm Mike. I'm the Sports Dope. At that Sports Dope on Instagram and Twitter. Go to mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. You'll find all the other social media stuff, the YouTube links, the iTunes link. It just got on Google Play Podcasts. If you search Minds of Mike, because for some reason they auto-title it based on the RSS feed, so it's under Minds of Mike on Google Play. All those things will be on mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. That's it. That's all I got tonight. Let's get paid. Peace out. Good luck.